Ladies and gentlemen, welcome into my NFL Week 15 Top 10 Best Bets. Now, guys, if you actually look at the data, I have gone 6-3 each of the last 2 weeks on these bets, which actually is really good for the NFL. You may think 6-3, it's mediocre. In college, yes, it's mediocre. It's well below what I do. But in the NFL, guys, going 6-3, it is a relatively good percentage in terms of betting over-unders or betting against the spread. And I am absolutely just ripping through the NFL right now like a tornado. It is so inspiring to watch. But guys, my top bets here, Browns -3 versus the Ravens. I've seen so many people buying the Ravens +3. Guys, it's so obvious. Deshaun Watson, his first home game. They said they're going to open up the offense. They're getting more healthy. Donovan Peoples-Jones has a connection already with Deshaun Watson. Nick Chubb is due for a big game. The Ravens, without Lamar Jackson, they really don't need to win this game because they won last week. Everything aligns for a very easy Browns win. I have the Browns winning this game 26-17. This is the Saturday afternoon matchup, which is a really fun thing there in Cleveland. So the Browns, they've got, they're going to get this win. They need it in terms of potentially trying to sneak in as that last wild card team. They're going to win that game. The Dolphins at the Bills, the under 44. So this is the weather. They're expecting around 3 to 5 inches of snow during the game on Saturday night. Miami, Tua Tagovailoa playing in this weather. It's just simply not a good mix. I would also take the Bills -7, but it just seems, actually, you know what? Maybe the Bills is a better play. The reason I am attracted to the under is because if it's actually going to snow 3 to 5 inches during the game, it's just like, there's just not going to there's not going to be enough points to get to the 45, especially from the Dolphins side of things. If the Dolphins score 13 points, will the Bills really drop like 33, 34? I'm not seeing it personally in the snow. So when it says 3 to 5 inches and I can get like an under 44, Tua Tagovailoa in really cold weather, a warm weather team in cold weather, I'll take the under, and I would also take the Bills -7. Everyone I've seen is in on the Bills -7 for a number of reasons. You look at the way Tua has played recently, and of course the situation with it being 20 degrees and snowing. The Jets -1.5 versus the Lions. So this game was a pick'em, and I said bet on the Jets, bet on the Jets. Now everyone is hammering the Jets. The Lions, they're a dome team who plays really bad on the road. They're going to be in colder weather. Again, guys, the Jets with Mike White, they actually have been playing pretty good, especially on offense. They've just had tough games. Mike White is due for a win. He has a good connection with the superstar young receiver Garrett Wilson, who's going to have probably 150 yards in this game against a bad Detroit defense. Give me the Jets. They're due for a win. They get it done at home, and they stay in the wild card picture over the Lions. I know the Lions have been playing better, but that's mainly at home. The Jaguars +4 versus the Cowboys. So I've got some good news and some bad news for Cowboys fans. The bad news, you're going to lose to Jacksonville straight up. The good news is I do think the Cowboys rebound next week and beat Philadelphia at home. But guys, this game has upset written all over it. Trevor Lawrence is developing and blossoming into a franchise quarterback right before our very eyes. The Jaguars in a crazy high-scoring game. Travis Etienne's going to be huge. Make sure you're playing him in daily fantasy. They win this game outright, 31-30. The Cowboys really struggled last week. They ended up winning against Houston, but they were trailing the entire game. They were massive favorites. They almost got upset. So I will take the Jaguars to actually upset Dallas at home. They've been playing better. They just destroyed Tennessee. Trevor Lawrence has been playing great. Give me Jacksonville, who's really got a ton of momentum at home, to win that game outright. The Chiefs at the Texans, I'll take the under 49. So it feels like this over-under is 5 points too high to me. I understand it's coaxed up due to Kansas City's offense, but I simply don't think Houston will be able to supply enough points for this game to go over 49. you're looking at something like even 31-14, 31-10, 30-17, something like that. Those are all under 49. I just think the over-under in this game should be like 46.5, and there's value if it's at 49 due to how bad Houston's offense is. And Houston actually has been decently efficient on defense. They are 14-point underdogs, and the overall analytics will tell you to take Houston plus 14. I just can't do that because I know they're tanking and they want to secure the number 1 overall pick. But I will find value in how well their defense is played, especially analytically recently, and take the under 49 coupled with their terrible offense, whether it's Davis Mills, Kyle Allen, whoever they start. They have a horribly inefficient offense. Next, we have the Broncos -3 versus the Cardinals. This is the reverse psychology. So everyone's in on the Cardinals, right? This game should be a pick'em. The Broncos are terrible. You've got the whole quarterback situation with both of these teams, the injuries, stuff like that. But guys, there's no incentive for the Cardinals to win this game. Both of these coaches are lame ducks. Denver plays better at home. They play better defense at home. Outside of that Chiefs game last week, Denver wins this game surprisingly in a blowout. That is a bold prediction. I think they win this game like 27-10 or something like that because it's just weird. Maybe they get a pick 6 off Colt McCoy. Something happens where they're at home. It's altitude. It's a warm weather team traveling to Denver in cold weather in the elements. A lot of people love the Cardinals, the value plus the 3. I'm going the opposite way. I'm taking Denver at home. I know it's crazy. They've been terrible. Nathaniel Hackett is a horrible coach. We understand all that. But still, it's the reverse psychology taking the Broncos there. The Chargers -3 versus the Titans. It just feels like the Chargers are overdue for a blowout win. And they've got so much more offensive talent, so much more explosiveness. Everyone's fading the Titans. The Titans have gotten destroyed the past 2 weeks. They're finally showing who they really are. They simply cannot throw the ball, the Titans. They're really one-dimensional. Justin Herbert's going to come out 2 quick first quarter passing touchdowns. They're going to win this game very easily, like 35-23, and cover the 3-point home spread. The Bengals at the Bucks, we're going to go the over 44. It feels like every Tom Brady game has gone under at least recently, and this is kind of going to buck the trend. You've got Joe Burrow. You've got probably really nice weather. The game's in Florida. It's going to be warmer. I think the Bengals and their offense can put up 31, and I think Tom Brady can at least get to 21, which gives us an easy over 44. I find value in that based on me trusting Joe Burrow with those receivers and also nice weather. 44 is not a horribly hard number to get to. I had to take an over. I'm taking that over, and I'm back on the unders with the Giants at the Commanders, the Sunday night game. Everyone's in on the under 40.5. It certainly is great value, even if you get a score like 23-17, the under hits, guys. Really, the Commanders don't have a lot of explosiveness with Taylor Heineke or without Taylor Heineke. With the Giants, it's very simple. Shut down Saquon Barkley. It's hard for them to create explosive plays, so we will take the under in that game. And then I do have a few different parlays. I think 3 different parlays. The first one, we're going to go in on this is the Saturday game, the Vikings money line versus the Colts. This is another Saturday game, the Browns money line versus the Ravens. And guys, I am serious. It's basically every Saturday home team. I do not see any of the home teams losing at all. The Vikings against the Colts maybe would be the only one I could see, but it just feels like the Vikings, after losing last week, they're going to want to come back at home and get the job done against a Matt Ryan who really turns the ball over a ton. Browns, I said it, they're a huge lock this week. And then the Bills against a Dolphins team playing in 5 inches of snow. It's a very simple Saturday parlay. It's very boring. I have all the home teams winning. It just feels too obvious to me. Moving on to my second parlay, the Panthers money line versus the Steelers. So originally, I actually liked the Steelers to win this game outright until I did some research, and the Panthers have been really good at home. Now, I must warn people, the Panthers theoretically should be trying to tank. But obviously the players are going to try. They're going to play hard. Looking like Kenny Pickett is going to be out. They're either going to go with Mason Rudolph or Mitch Trubisky. So I like the Panthers. They've been playing better at home. Sam Darnold has not been turning the ball over. And yeah, I've kind of shifted my thoughts on that game. The Bears +9 versus the Eagles. At some point, the Eagles are not going to cover one of these bigger lines, especially on the road. Just Justin Fields should be more healthy after all that rest. So I think the Bears surprisingly keep this game close. The Eagles will win, but it'll be a surprising field goal type game. The Broncos money line versus the Cardinals. I talked about this. This is another just 3-team parlay. Unfortunately, I don't have the screenshot of the odds on these, but I think this is probably because the Panthers are -3, so on the money line they're probably like -160 maybe. The Bears +9 is going to be -110, and then the Broncos money line is like -160. It's probably like plus 270, plus 300, something like that on that overall parlay. And then my third parlay, the Chiefs at Titans, the under 49.5. So we talked about this one. I just don't see the Titans supplying enough offense to make the overhit in that game. It would really have to be Kansas City dropping a 40-burger, and I don't think they do it. The Giants at the Commanders, also the under 40.5. This is another game I talked about already. This is the Sunday night game. Cold weather, lower scoring, non-explosive offenses, defensive battle, Sunday night game. And then the Packers, this is the Monday night game, money line versus the Rams. I really think people are kind of overreacting to Aaron Rodgers. He still has 22 touchdowns to 9 interceptions on the season. The Packers coming off a bye week. They still have a good running game. And the Rams, for as fun as Baker Mayfield was in that comeback, they still don't have a good offense. I'm not going to overreact to that game. So overall, all of these, the top two are both -110, and then the Packers money line would probably be like -260, considering they're 7-point favorites in that game. So that is my third and final little 3-team parlay for for NFL week number 15. That's going to do it for this video, guys. Make sure you're following me on Twitter. Link to that's always in the description. I'm, of course, the Depressed Ginger. Thank you for watching.